Episode 82, Halloween or Any Alternative is Not for Us. Per History.com, Halloween first came to the United States in the 1840s, but the observance of Halloween dates back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. Samhain is a pagan religious festival originating from an ancient Celtic spiritual tradition. In modern times, Samhain is usually celebrated from October the 31st to November the 1st to welcome in the harvest and usher in the dark half of the year. Celebrants believe that the barriers between the physical world and the spirit world break down during Samhain, allowing more interaction between humans and denizens or groups of people of the outer world or other world. What? The Celtics believed that barriers between the two worlds were breachable during Samhain. In their homeland of Ireland, they celebrated their new year on November the 1st, when the world of the gods was believed to be made visible to mankind. Modern witches say it's a time of the year when the veil between the dead and the living is thin. The word Halloween has its origins from the Catholic Church and is from All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Day or All Saints Day is a Catholic day of observance in honor of saints on November the 1st. In the 1st century AD, Samhain was assimilated into celebrations of some Roman traditions that took place in October, such as the day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. Pomona's symbol is the apple, which might explain the origin of bobbing for apples on Halloween. Church leaders attempted to refrain from Samhain as a Christian celebration. The first attempt was by Pope Boniface in the 5th century. He moved the celebration to May 13th and specified it as a day celebrating saints and martyrs. The fire festivals of October and November, however, did not end with this decree. In the 9th century, Pope Gregory moved the celebration back to the time of the fire festivals, but declared it All Saints' Day on November the 1st. All Souls' Day would follow on November the 2nd. All Souls' Day was celebrated similarly to Samhain with big bonfires, parades, and dressing up in costumes as saints, angels, and devils. Neither new holiday did away with the pagan aspects of the celebration. October the 31st became known as All Hallows Eve or Halloween and contained much of the traditional pagan practices before being adopted in the 19th century America through Irish immigrants bringing their traditions across the ocean. Reuters.com states, the custom of Halloween came to America in the 1840s with Irish immigrants fleeing a potato famine. By the late 1800s, there was a move in America to mold Halloween into a holiday more about community and neighborly get-togethers than about ghost pranks and witchcraft. At the turn of the century, Halloween parties for both children and adults became the most common way to celebrate the day. Parties focused on games, foods of the season, and festive costumes. In the United States, the first official citywide Halloween celebration occurred in Anoka, Minnesota in 1921. Trick-or-treating is said to have been derived from ancient Irish and Scottish practices in the nights leading up to the Samhain. In Ireland, mumming was the practice of putting on costumes and going door to door and singing songs to the dead. Cakes were given as a payment. These cakes were called soul cakes, which were offerings for one's dead relatives. And failure to supply a treat would result in a practical joke. Halloween pranks also became a tradition in Samhain, though in the ancient celebration, tricks were typically blamed on fairies. The favorite pranks in New England included tipping over outhouses and unhinging fence gates. Young women believed that on Halloween, they could divine the name or appearance of their future husbands, by doing tricks with yarn, apple parings, or mirrors. The jack-o'-lantern custom is believed to come from Irish folklore about a drunk named Jack who tricked Satan into climbing a tree, then carved an image of a cross in the trunk to trap the devil. He struck a deal for Satan to leave his soul alone when he died. But then heaven would not take him either. So he carried embers in a hollowed turnip as he wandered eternal darkness. The turnip was replaced with a pumpkin. In 2020, billions of pumpkins were harvested in the U.S., and Finder.com estimates for 2021 that 147 million Americans, roughly 44% of the population, plans to have a good old time buying a pumpkin to make homemade jack-o'-lanterns. Halloween has always been a holiday filled with mystery, magic, and superstition. It began as a Celtic end of summer festival, during which people felt especially close to deceased relatives and friends. For these friendly spirits, they set places at their dinner table, left treats on doorsteps, and along the side of the road, it lit candles to help loved ones find their way back to the spirit world. What? Today's Halloween ghosts are often depicted as more fearsome and malevolent, and our customs and superstitions are scarier too. We avoid crossing paths with black cats, afraid that they might bring us bad luck. The idea has its roots in the Middle Ages, when many people believed that witches avoided detection by turning themselves into black cats. A broad revival of Samhain resembling its traditional pagan form began in the 1980s with the growing popularity of Wicca. Wicca celebration of Samhain takes on many forms, from the traditional fire ceremonies to celebrations that embrace many aspects of modern Halloween, as well as activities related to honoring nature or ancestors. Wiccans look at Samhain as the passing of the year and incorporate common Wiccan traditions into the celebration. In the Druid tradition, Samhain celebrates the dead with the festival on October the 31st, and usually features a bonfire in communion with the dead. American pagans often hold music and dance celebrations called witches' balls in proximity to Samhain. Per theconversation.com, they celebrate the beginning and the peak of each season, which corresponds to the mythology of the changing relationship of the god and goddess. The god born of the goddess at midwinter is Yule, grows to manhood to become her lover in the spring. At that time, she is no longer his mother, as their roles have changed. Wiccans believe that the goddess is eternal, changing through the seasons from maiden to mother, and ultimately an old woman. The god eternally returns, but dies before he can age. He is sacrificed as Samhain to ensure the fertility of the crops and the well-being of the community in the coming year. Most Wiccans venerate a goddess and a god as equal, although for some, the goddess is given greater importance. TrueDiscipleship.com states, the Druids believed during Samhain, the mystic veil separating the dead from the living opened. The Druids taught these Roman spirits loosed on Samhain went searching for a body to possess. The frightened Celts would masquerade as demons, evil spirits, and ghosts, hoping to convince the roaming evil spirits they were another evil spirit and leave them alone. The Celts also prepared meals as treats to appease the evil spirits from tricks or malicious acts, hence our custom of trick or treat. The Druids performed horrifying human sacrifices and other vile rituals during Samhain. Thus, Truth Wars has concluded that we, the children of the Most High, do not participate in any form or fashion of Samhain, Halloween, Hallows Day, Saints Day, Souls Day, Wicca, or any alternatives like Hallelujah Harvest or Harvest Festival. These are pagan worship days that are evil and totally against the excellency and purity of Yah, our Elohim. The foundation of this pagan day of Halloween comes from Europe. the sons of Japhet and Esau. And of course, the Roman Catholic Christian Church introduced it into their ceremonies. It's an absolute no. No costumes of any kind, no candy of any kind, no giving or receiving of candy, no buying candy, no buying the candy on sale, no pumpkins, no costumes, no trick-or-treating, no Halloween parties, no Halloween movies. Just an absolute no to all of it. We have to walk away from any and every resemblance of the pagan ways in this land of our captivity. We must cleave to Yah, our Elohim. Follow him, follow his word and his way. Follow YissaElah HaMashiach, his son, our ultimate sacrifice for all this mess that we're in, all the sin and the shame. In the month of October, we already have our pure convocations and holy days to follow. The Day of Atonement, the Feast of Booths or Tabernacles, and the Great Day. We don't need a Halloween or another pagan holiday when we have our holy days set apart for us to remember and commemorate. Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. James 4:7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to Yah. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. John 3:19-20. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds are evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Luke 10:19-20. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding in this, rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice, because your names are written in heaven. These pagan holidays and customs of this modern Egypt are not for us, YissaElahs, Israelites. Leave it alone. As we seek truth, please seek truth with us. Please send questions or comments to info@truthwars.com or comment here. We don't claim to know everything. We just seek the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that knows everything. Let truth roar, let truth reign, let truth speak, and let truth set you and your entire family free. Truth roars, truth reigns, truth speaks, truth sets me free. Please see a podcast disclaimer at truthwars.com.